Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sensitive Podcast. I am your host, Kim Kimball, Somatic leadership coach for highly sensitive and neurodivergent business owners. And today I am coming to you with a rare solo podcast episode. I'm going to be talking to you today about blocks and what you are calling a block, how it might actually be something wiser, a gentle invitation for you as highly sensitive and a neurodivergent entrepreneur. I'm coming to you today on like a really cozy Saturday just to orient you to where I am in space and time. It's a very rare day, Saturday, where I actually have nanny care today. So this is not coming from a overworking on a weekend place, but from I have that rare elusive nanny care on a Saturday, and it just felt really yummy to dive into this. I am in a really cozy, I've like been in this nesting phase with my office. So my office feels really cozy right now, especially because it's pouring. It just started pouring down rain outside. So it's like the cozy new lamps that I have and the rain outside. I just feel really cozy diving into this with you today. So without further ado and orientation, let's dive right into talking about blocks and why I actually believe that they are something wiser and not just a block. So in our businesses, there's often a part of us that hesitates when it's time to show up, whether that be hesitating to speak clearly or to create something or asking for what we want. It might look like procrastination for us, or what we call quote unquote self sabotage, or second guessing yourself and what it is that you want to do. Whatever it looks like for you and however it shows up for you in your business, um, sometimes it might be a full body no that we just can't explain. What I really want you to understand is that every single business owner experiences this, and it doesn't matter what stage of business you're in. I think sometimes folks can have this thought that this will go away once you reach a certain business level of income or you've met a certain metric. But what I've really come to understand, both in my own process and in supporting others, including multiple six figure business owners, is that resistance isn't random. And again, it's something that will always be with us and accompany us as business owners. So, really, it's something that we need to learn how to relate to because it's not going away. And how we relate to it is really what produces the change. So it's coming to understand that there's usually something wise underneath this resistance, that it's part of us that's trying to stay safe, to keep us stay safe, potentially to hold on to something that has been working for us in the past or has worked, or trying to tell us that maybe something isn't quite right anymore. I want to give you an example of this in my own business. So there was a time where I began to feel some resistance around running my membership, the sanctuary. And it didn't make logical sense to me at first at all because I adored my clients that were in the container. The material felt deeply aligned. I was enjoying making the material every month. And something in me still started to pull back. And I started to feel this resistance, or what I call it resistance, some folks might call it a block. And instead of pushing through that, I chose to deeply listen to it and get curious about it, which is a large part of the process that I'm going to be teaching you all about. And over time, by relating to the resistance in this way, instead of like pushing it down or forcing myself to push through, I realized that the format of the offering itself, not the people or the purpose, was what needed to evolve. And the container was ready to deepen. And that was what the resistance was about, to hold a different kind of transformation. And so that ended up actually being how the Sustainable Growth Sanctuary was born, which is my 6-month intimate mastermind experience that invites a slow, steadier, and more integrated approach to growth, which begins this September. So that's kind of the story of how the Sustainable Growth Sanctuary was born. It was actually through listening to this quote unquote block or this resistance and hearing the wisdom that it had for me to offer. And that clarity did not come through forcing, it didn't come through pushing it down or ignoring. It came through being with the resistance long enough to hear what it was asking for. So, that experience with the sanctuary was a reminder for me that resistance is not always a sign to stop. Sometimes it's an invitation to deepen, just like what you saw with the sanctuary, to realign, to ask a quieter question that's underneath the surface of what is this resistance trying to protect? Or what is it trying to reveal to me? And that's the heart of why I created this new offering called When Resistance Rises. It's not another mindset tool. It's not a quick fix. That's not what I do here or in any of my containers. But it's a place to really practice staying with yourself, especially in those in between moments when things are tender, when things are uncertain, or when they're simply not moving or working in the way that you hoped that they would. So, When Resistance Rises is a 5-day guided audio journey, and each episode is both short and spacious, intentionally digestible at 8 to 12 minutes long apiece. And each one weaves together a gentle insight, a somatic reflection, and a simple somatic practice that you can carry with you and apply to your business immediately. We'll explore how resistance shows up in your body, what it is trying to communicate to you, and how to meet it with more kindness and clarity, especially inside your business. But honestly, this could apply to all of your life. There's nothing that you need to take notes on. There's no giant mindset leaps to do. It's just quiet, grounded support to help you reconnect with yourself and move in a way that feels less forceful and more true to you. So, as I mentioned, When Resistance Rises is a 5-day guided audio journey, and I chose audio for this really purposefully. I didn't want this to be another thing that you had to show up for, another Zoom link, another browser tab, another calendar block. I wanted it to feel like something that you could carry with you, that you could sort of seamlessly weave into your day. Something that you could listen to on your morning walk or while you were sipping tea or even while you were lying down with your eyes closed. That there was no need for screens or performance or being on or masking, just you, your own body, your own timing. And this guided audio journey, or what I call a private podcast format, truly makes space for that. So you can move through it at your own pace and in whatever state you are in, even if that's tender, tired, or unsure. And each day you'll receive that short, spacious episode with just enough reflection and guidance to notice something new, maybe some new possibilities to reconnect and to carry it gently forward into your day with plenty of time to integrate it and to allow it really fully to land. That's the other tremendous benefit, because I find that in live workshops, oftentimes I was first planning for this to be a 90-minute live workshop. And I feel like maybe you can walk away with 1 to 2 shifts, but sometimes you walk away, you're kind of scratching your head and you're like, wait, what was it that I just learned again? Because it's been so much information coming at you so quickly that it feels like a fire hose. And there's not really that time to allow it to fully land and integrate it. And doing these short snippets and giving you that integration time, I think just produces a much more sustainable experience. So, as well as I wanted to mention that I will be running a live cohort that begins on July 28th. And there's an extra added layer of support during that live cohort phase where there'll be a private signal group where you have a space for soft community and connection and opportunities for light coaching from me as well as you move through the journey. So you're not losing that community element and the really holding space element from me either, just by doing this asynchronously and on your own pace and on your own time. So this is not about doing more. It's about being with yourself differently and really learning how to relate to yourself differently. So, what I want to end with is really emphasizing that there is often a deeper intelligence, a deeper wisdom behind what we call a block or what we call resistance. And when we stop trying to push it away and we begin to hear what it's been trying to tell us all along, when resistance rises is an invitation to listen, to soften, to reconnect with the part of you that doesn't need to be convinced, but simply needs to be included in your wholeness. As I mentioned, the live cohort begins on July 28th, 2025, and I would love to have you join us. And I will say that I do plan to turn this into an evergreen offering that will live on my site. If you are hearing this after the date where we do the live cohort, there is still an opportunity for you to participate just without the Signal community group. So you will get access to the full audio series and you'll be gently held inside of space of reflection and connection as you move through each part in your own timing. You can find all the details and join us through the link in the show notes. And whenever you're ready, it's here for you. That link will be below. And again, the live cohort opens July 28th. I hope you feel this warmth of my invitation to join us and to relate to yourself differently amidst resistance or blocks in the way they show up for you in your business and your life. As I mentioned, I truly view this as such an integral part of being a business owner because resistance or blocks aren't going to go away. They just shape, they shift, they morph depending on the stage of business that we're in. So learning how to relate differently to this really does shift the feeling and the experience of you being in your business. I really think that it's such integral work. So I hope you're walking away today with a deeper understanding of the wisdom that is within quote unquote blocks or resistance. And I hope for you to join us.